Hello and welcome to BuMpY-isms. This is a bumpy beer review and the live stream. And
Oh, wow.
I have Last Beer joining me.
Cheers.
The reason so is he gifted me this beer. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it. This is a Modestman beer that was in collaboration with Hoppy Floppers and Hoppy Fluid Runners. I don't know anything about that. I'm not sure if you.
I don't. Yeah, maybe there's some sort of like athletic running group thing. Maybe I would imagine. It doesn't say anything on that page, but
I was looking at the can art. I mean, that looks like an octagon. So
right.
It looks like a UFC type thing.
Right.
So miscellaneous would totally be into this.
Right.
Yeah,
boxing gloves.
Yeah, I just didn't know if there was any more information about it. But this Modestman is from New Hampshire, and this beer was brewery only here. But it found its way to Virginia instead. And traveled back here to New Hampshire. So I once again appreciate Josh for providing me with this beer, and going to be tasting it for the first time. I am, anyways. I'm sure that Josh has already had some.
Yeah, it's my last can. Hopefully, it held up after a couple
beer.
Yeah.
What'd you say it was last canned in April?
April 13th. I think they said it was released, which was a Saturday. Yeah.
Not a Friday.
Yeah, it says Saturday in honor of our underground friends in the beer universe, whatever that means. And it clearly says no distro on this beer, but I think because the bottle shop I got it from did a collab with Modestman, the fourth or whatever, so they probably got like, hey, send us a couple cases, so. But no hops. Surprisingly, they don't usually. Modestman puts hops on the back of it, but
it says it on the front.
Citra New Zealand hops,
Yeah.
So
we don't know what New Zealand hops.
So it's got Citra, Galaxy, Nelson, and New Zilla are the hops in there. I think New Zilla is a new one.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of a new one.
Yeah.
Do you want to, since everybody seems to be doing this, do you want to try to guess the ABV?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. Even though we both know what most Modestman beers are.
Right. It's 8.5%. Says it right there on the front of the can.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's just crack into it.
Yeah.
Get this thing going. Cheers to the chat. Tater Dom, first one in, like he is on most of our channels. And cheers to Chris from Kettleheads Barbecue and Beer.
Please be delicious.
Oh yeah, it fuzzed right out.
Filled to the brim.
Wow, I'm getting grassy notes. When I first opened it.
It looks hazy to me. We got different lighting, but yeah, pretty much almost kind of the same. Mine looks darker, but yours got brighter light.
Put my light like that, it makes it better.
Yeah.
There we go. My head is a little bit more like an Alex pour.
Yeah, mine's about 2 finger. Got like an egg wash color to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the whole the I made eggs this morning because I had my grandson. So kind of looks a little like that. Just judging off the head, I haven't had this beer, but judging off the head, it looks like the beer is going to be light and fluffy.
Yeah, I can smell it as soon as I poured it. I was like, "Oh."
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of smell,
here we go.
What are you getting?
It smells pretty bright. It smells very like citrusy forward, like grassy. Definitely getting a little bit of tropical notes in there for sure.
Yeah. Juicy mango and
A little bit of peach, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say melon, possible.
Yeah, the slightest, but it does. See, I feel like it does have that citrusy like pop on the back end for sure.
Yeah,
Not doesn't smell earthy. It's definitely more like a. I don't want to say lemon lime or anything. Yeah, maybe, but
yeah.
it smells fantastic.
Maybe a squeeze of a tangerine.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't
Like
smell
maybe.
like bright, like an orange slice or anything, but
Yeah, yeah,
a bit on the sweeter side.
yeah. At least it looks good and it smells good after a couple months. You know, some of these beers they go bad after like a month or two, but
Yeah,
so yeah, it smells delicious. You want to dive into it?
sure do. Cheers.
Cheers, dude. Mm.
Yeah,
Getting a lot of Nelson off that. Getting a lot of Nelson. I get a lot of Nelson.
yeah. Kind of. There's a like a white grapey type
Mm-hmm.
with grass, loads of grass
Mm-hmm.
on the tail. Um, it is a kind of a light, lifty body. So
Yeah.
I'd say that my eyeballs looking at that head were correct.
Right. It doesn't. Do you get any hot burn?
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's that kind of. It's like yeah. It's like there's floating like unfiltered hop resin in the
Mm-hmm.
beer. And I think that's maybe why it's coming off so grassy, like because it's actually seems like there's hops
Yeah.
hitting the palate.
Yeah. Maybe. What would you say? Maybe pushing medium. It's kind of like you said. It's kind of light. I mean, not boozy. Maybe a little alcohol. 8.5.
Yeah, it's I kind of get it. It's like there is like a watered down melon, not a watermelon, but like if there
Yeah.
was like a honeydew or something, but it's like very diluted, kind of on the back
Mm-hmm.
end just before that grass hits. But yeah, as far as the body goes, I mean, it might be a medium body. The carbonation on it's like very, very fizzy. So a little tiny carbonation bubbles, but there's plenty of them. So I think that gives it that kind of lift off the palate. Like it almost
Yeah.
like starts to evaporate when it hits the tongue.
Good looking beer though. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't get oxidized after a couple months. You know, but
Yeah, we got
I
those
don't know what.
we got those potato beers and now we have egg beers. So
Right. I don't know what New Zilla. I'm gonna look that up real quick. I'm guessing it's probably some sort of Nelson type, um, like
hey,
attributes.
hey, New Zilla.
New Zilla. Da, 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 da. Mm,
Bet you it's gonna say pineapple.
Usually they have like a, let's say, flavor. New Zilla hops flavor. Um, Lemon lime, stone fruit, figs, apricot, peach, gooseberry, and orange.
No pineapple. Okay.
No pineapple. Definitely getting lemon lime. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit of apricot. I don't know what gooseberries really taste like, but
No, I've heard gooseberries in beer a few times, and I've never actually tasted a gooseberry.
I never. Yeah, neither have I. But definitely lemon lime. I'm getting stone fruit. I'm not getting figs. I don't even know how that would. Um, New
I do think
Zilla.
that citrus does start to kind of come around after a few sips.
Oh, for sure. What else
Palate's
does
still
it have?
trying to get used to that grassiness, though. That just
Citra Galaxy. Oh yeah, it does have Nelson. Duh. Citra Galaxy, Nelson, New Zilla.
mm,
Um, Galaxy. I feel like I'm getting more Nelson in those New Zilla than Galaxy. Um, well, maybe not. Passion fruit, clean citrus, and peach for Galaxy.
There's that there's like a sticky residue I'm getting on my lips from it. But
Yeah.
as far as the malt profile, I mean, it's kind of light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what.
Maybe just a residual sweetness of wheat bread.
Yeah, yeah. It's good though.
Yeah, it's a refreshing one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not heavy. I mean, I don't know if you could slam these back, but I mean, I guess you could, but
Yeah, it dries off my palate so much, and that could just be like the hops that are just kind of sticking around.
yeah.
Like I expect to look into this thing and just see pellets floating by,
Right?
like little duck turds or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and there's sediment or nothing, you know. But
Oh,
I'm just glad it held up after a couple. I mean, kind of figured it would, but I mean, it's been a couple months. Well, what was that? About 3 months. April, May, June. Yeah.
at least this one drinks like a double IPA. I had John drink one from Modestman. It was called Juicy, and that was another 8.5%er, and that thing drank like it was a session IPA. It was like so light. So it was like, but the flavors were also super light on it. It wasn't extremely juicy.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I think this one drinks a little bit less than the 8.5, but I still get a slight hint of that booziness, like intertwined on the back end, but
it's got a
maybe
lingering bitterness.
yeah. I think
It's starting to kind of put a little bit of a pine note. It's getting past the grass and going to the pine.
Yeah. It definitely, to me, I feel like it definitely kind of finishes that lemon lime type grassiness. Like up front, it's kind of got a sweetness, but then, like you said, it kind of has like a dryness on the back end.
Yeah. So should we just call it lemongrass?
Good, yeah. Yeah, this one's good. Like I said, very like even when we cracked it, like you could just smell.
Yeah.
You could just smell it. It's like, oh, there's that grassiness. Not a lot of bitterness, but I mean, I think that it's definitely Nelson New Zilla Citra forward. I guess I'm not getting too much Galaxy out of it. I don't know if you're getting. Are you picking up any passion fruit and stuff like that?
Passion fruit's a tough one for me. I've eaten passion fruit, trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And it does have kind of it's kind of got like almost a tart. I want to say sour, but it's not really sour. It's kind of like a tart bite.
Yeah.
It's a lot stronger in flavor than I thought it would be as well. So
Yeah.
Usually when I say that I'm picking up passion fruit, they never mention passion fruit. And anytime I don't mention passion fruit, they're like, oh, passion fruit.
Yeah, right.
So I think that I'm thinking I think I'm picking out other flavors and mistaking it as passion fruit. You know, you're only as good as your trained
Right.
eye.
Yeah, I don't know if this is double. It doesn't say it's double dry hopped or anything like that. Maybe it is, but I don't know about if
there is
if
more and more, at least like fruity tropical type flavors coming through as I'm drinking on it. It's just my palate has to get used to that bitterness. That was just like, because that was the first thing when I opened the can too. It was just like, oh, grass.
Yeah.
And that's just been the focal point for my tongue so far. But I'm starting to pick up more stuff. It's becoming more enjoyable as I drink on, which is good because then I'm at least not getting palate fatigue from it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good one. Definitely, you get a lot of that citrus in there, that grassy citrus, lemon lime. Maybe
I do get bouncing it around, like kind of swishing my tongue around there. I do pick up on a bit more of like a peach type note.
Yeah. I can see that. Not really much pineapple though. Mostly like citrusy, tangerine.
Yep. Yeah, that citrus notes coming in kind of mid palate.
Yeah. And like you said, it's got that drying on the back
It's
end.
very dry. Yeah.
Yeah. Alex would not like it. Maybe though.
It's fuzzy like a duck and it kicks like a mule.
Right. Yeah. Maybe that's why they did the. Yeah. And the can. I'm interested to see what these hoppy fluid run. I mean, I guess they're running. I guess.
I mean, you know what hoppy floppers makes me think of.
Yeah. Let's see. Hoppy. Yeah, I don't. Well, the can art makes it seem like it's some sort of like, yeah, like you said, boxing or something, but
or MMA, yeah.
Yeah, or maybe it's like a CrossFit thing or something.
Yeah, and they like beer, so it's hoppy.
So this says hot yoga for the hoppy floppers. I don't know. But then when you type in hoppy floppers, like the first image is this beer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's a beer group, looks like. But I don't know. I don't know what hoppy fluid runners are, but hoppy fluid runners. That's what the first thing that comes up is this beer label. I don't know. I don't know what they are, but they don't really give you just what the collaboration is or how it came about.
You didn't put any of these out on your channel. An error occurred.
What happened?
I typed in the chat, tried to type to people and said an error occurred. Whoa.
Oh, I mean, I could stream to mine. Let me see if I can type in the chat.
Let me just type cheers, see what happens.
I said hello.
Okay, mine came.
There's cheers.
Okay, so what I typed, because I'm not going to type it again, but I said cheers to Tater, to Kettleheads, and to Sparkle, and now to Bill. So cheers, Bill.
Cheers, Bill.
So now when you start looking this up, if you look this beer up online, this might be a video that actually pops up. If that's the first thing that pops up when you type Hoppy Floppers in.
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah, it just means there's not a lot out about it. So normally if you type any beer in, the FLX boys have everything. Like you research a beer and it's like, oh, there's Dan and Mike.
Right. Yeah, I mean, same with some of the other ones. Maybe I don't know how much press, but yeah, it's just weird that I typed in both of those and this beer label came up. So
yeah, there wasn't a lot of pictures because I obviously you get the fuzzy pictures that I have for everything. There was only like I don't know 3 or 4 pictures I saw online when I typed this beer in and put images. Most of them were actually pictures of mules and ducks.
Right.
So
let's see if maybe I typed in ducks versus mules beer. Oh, maybe I put in Modestman in videos. Let's see if
Hmm.
I mean, there's not really. I mean, besides you and some other people, there's not too many Modestman beers being reviewed on YouTube, regardless. That I've
Yeah.
seen. I think you and John and maybe the FLX boys or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't even get Modest Man yet. I mean, unless like I've sent it to them or
Oh,
they
that's
do
right.
like
Well,
a
they got. I
collaboration
think
with
they got
Kettleheads.
Kettlehead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
reviewed
Modest
that.
Man, I think, should be more noted, more sought after. I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy him. I mean, I know John likes Spyglass more than Modest Man, but I mean,
Yeah.
Spyglass is okay, but I'd probably pick Modest Man over
Yeah.
Spyglass.
I think Spyglass does a bit more like styles than what I see Modest Man doing. But
Yeah, it'd be nice to see Modest Man do like a barrel aged stout or something like that, but
yeah,
I don't think they've ever really done any stouts.
no,
Type stuff.
they only have one stout that I know of. It's just a standard stout. It's like 5.5%. They
Does
have
Spyglass do a like a barrel aged stout?
I don't know of any barrel aged. I just actually drank an imperial stout by them today that Anelli left for me. So um
Was it in a
they've done
bottle
that.
or
I
a
know they
case?
do ESBs, other types of lagers. I think they've done like a rice lager, uh, other things like that. I mean, Modest Man, if you go on their website, they talk about how they like to do classic styles, but they also like to venture out or wherever. But it seems like they mostly venture out. They are pretty much a New England IPA brewery for the most
Yeah.
part.
So
So,
they don't
but
do.
I think they do a real good job at it.
Yeah.
They've done some stuff with I believe like Trillium
Oh, really?
as well.
Huh.
So maybe it was them, maybe it was Kettlehead. I don't know. I'm pretty
I
sure
know
that
they.
they did a
Yeah.
collab with like a Trillium or a Treehouse though before that all of a sudden their beers kind of you start noticing a difference. It's like they learned a trick.
Yeah, I drank that most pulpiest thing in this world that collab with Kettlehead. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, I think it. See that one that I did for Modest Man, I did a review on the one with pineapple, most beautifulest thing. Like I didn't
Yeah.
get any pineapple till like towards the very end of the review. Like in the beginning, it was just like, "Where's the pineapple at?"
Yeah.
It's like muted. I don't know what happened, but yeah, it's good to see Modest Man. I mean, I feel like there's not many states that they distro to. Maybe just
No.
Virginia.
I remembered who it was. It wasn't it was Fidens. They've done a few collabs with Fidens.
Oh yeah. I think me, you, and Tanner reviewed one with Modest Man and Fidens.
Yeah, it was like the Eugene Axe and Mega combination.
Yeah. Or was it Infamous? Maybe I don't know. One of them.
Yeah, that's what I think that's what they called the beer. Oh, but
Yeah,
that was the
Infamous.
combination was like Eugene's Axe and Modest Man's
Yeah.
Mega. And then they called it Infamous.
Yeah, that's right. And the white, I think it was like that white can or whatever. It had
The axle and then the
yeah. I did not get the Check Your Head by Modest Man because it sold out by the time I got there, but I'm not sure if you had that one by Modest Man. I don't know if that's a collab or not. The Check Your Head.
it's not a collab. It's they just so Modest Man likes they do a lot of music theme beers. Their beers have to do with
Yeah.
music. Usually it's like a hip hop type thing, which Beastie
Yeah.
Boys would fall into that. So
MF Doom, they did an Atmosphere one.
yeah, they did the Mad Villainy.
Yeah. MF Doom one. Yeah.
They did stuff by The Most Beautiful Thing in This World is a song by I can't even think of the group now.
It's a
They're
hip
back
hop
in
group.
they're back in the 90s.
I thought it was a James Blunt song. You're beautiful.
Yeah, start over. Most beautiful. I went too soon. Most beautiful.
I know that Check Your Head is a Beastie Boys one.
Yeah. So what that
Did you
was, so yeah, I was talking about that. What they did was they took Mega, which is like that's like it's not their flagship beer, but it's like their most popular. That's the one that they do most of their collabs with. They say, "Here's our Mega, and let's mix it with whatever that you're doing." And but yeah, the Mega they took Mega and then they just triple dry hopped it. Like they used 3 times the amount of hops, which is also
okay.
it's like Citra and Mosaic.
Yeah,
So,
because the bottle shop that I usually get Modestman, they're like Modestman's highest rated, blah blah blah. You know, not I guess beer, but highest something. They had some sort of word for it, but it was what they say. Let me see. Let me see. 4 packs of the highest rated beer they have produced to date. Triple dry hop with Citra Mosaic. Plus
yeah.
4 packs of royalty and most beautifulest thing with pineapple.
Yeah, the check your head. Again, it's been out before. It's just one of those ones that sells super fast. So like
Yeah.
when I was able to pick it up, it was basically I was, oh wow, yeah, you're lucky that this was still on the shelf because it normally just is gone. And they usually a lot like a smaller amount. You can't like they don't allow the craft beer stores to
Oh yeah, yeah.
buy
Yeah, I'm
too
not sure
much
how
of
much
it because
they
they want
got.
to scatter it.
Would
They
you put
probably
that
will
one
sell
over?
it.
Would you put that one over most beautifulest thing in this world, or would you still pick?
There's been a few. So most beautiful thing in this world was like my favorite, like by them. I mean, Mega, I'd say was down just a little bit below that. But then they had one which, if I ever see this damn beer again, I bought 1 can of it, and it was you know how a lot of times it's like you buy a 4-pack of something, and then you drink, you open it up, you drink.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wish I'd only bought 1 can because
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to
This one
drink
was
any
the
more of
opposite.
this at
Yeah,
all. So that's what I started doing for the most part was just unless it was something that I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be good. Um, but yeah, I bought 1 can of this beer from Modestman. It was called Acid Raindrops. That
oh, that's the one that I missed out on. They had it,
that
and I didn't. I
friggin'
got it.
blew my
Yeah,
mind. I was like, holy crap. Like
yeah, we got that. Yeah,
yeah,
and
that
by
was
the
just
time I
one
went
that I'd
back
be
to the
like,
bottle shop, it was gone. I was like, oh shit.
yeah. But the check your head Mega, I mean, that's definitely better than Mega.
Yeah,
As far as the most beautiful thing in this world. Yeah, it might beat that one out. The acid raindrops, though, I think
the
that's
best one.
probably the best beer that I've had from them. I mean, it just had everything going for it. Mouthfeel was like phenomenal. Um,
Now I'm interested to see what you're going to think about that triple dry hop version of most beautiful.
yeah,
So, um,
more is not always better, but
yeah,
usually, it is.
yeah. Um, you
It's
got a
like
score?
your girl's like, you want more sex? No.
No, never.
Well, one and done, baby.
Right? I already. What do you mean? I already came.
Yeah.
Um, score? Got a score?
So I do mine.
Theirs is different. Yeah.
Kind
I
of,
really.
yeah. Like I wanted to get away from actual like doing like an actual like number, but I mean I kind of throw them
Or you
into a
can just
general.
do however you want to kind of, even if you don't want
Yeah,
to.
you can
Yeah.
score it however you want, however you do them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
However you.
I'd put this in like I'd say like mid range, very good.
Yeah.
which in that range, it's anywhere from this would be out of 50. So we wanted to just say 5. We can just do that. So it'd be between a 4.1 and a 4.5. So like kind of closer to the middle
In
of that. So
between
maybe like a 4.25.
2. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there to 4.3.
Nice.
Where are you feeling on it?
So I do mine out of 100. So I mean, I probably get like about a 92, 93 around that area. So it's probably kind of around the similar what range you're kind of giving it rating wise, I guess. It's good. I mean, it's not mind blowing or anything, but
yeah, I wish that like that. It's that grassy note is,
yeah,
if that wasn't so prominent, like I don't know if they filtered this one a little bit or something.
Yeah.
And also, there's the drying, that kind of resiny feeling I have on my
Yeah.
tongue. Yeah, I actually feel like it's coated with like hops.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't.
I'm enjoying the way that it feels on the palate. It's got a good mouthfeel to it, good carbonation, beautiful looking beer. It does have an array of flavors. It gets easier to drink as I'm drinking it. The bitterness is definitely there. I mean, it kicks. It's an IPA for sure. It's not cloyingly sweet, which is good.
Yeah.
It's just, it is a little bit off balance, going towards like a West Coast style of bittering.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't like
style.
a lot of bitterness, you probably wouldn't. You probably wouldn't be a fan.
It depends on it just depends on how the bitterness hits. Like I love like West Coast IPAs.
Oh, for sure.
It's all citrusy and piney. So it just kind of depends on like what type of bitterness it is. Like I've had some of them, they hit like, and it's like, have you ever eaten a kumquat? They're little tiny oranges, and you just eat the whole damn thing. You don't even peel it, and they're just super bitter, which is weird. Okay, get this.
Yeah.
My wife can't stand any hoppy beers. She doesn't like pale ales, IPAs, anything that's got hops. I don't like bitterness. We're in the grocery store. I never had a kumquat before. So she's like, "Oh, kumquats."
She loves them.
I love these. And she has me eat one. We're in line. She's like, "Here, eat this." And I'm like, I don't want to peel. And she's like, "No, you just eat the whole thing." I'm like, what? So I did, expecting this like juicy burst of like citrus, like if you eat like a cherry tomato, it's like, oh, it's just a little bright and lovely,
but it was like
versus
super
eating
bitter.
a big tomato sometimes. And it was just, I was just like, it was so bad. And she's like, "Oh, I love them." And it's like,
well, she doesn't like IPAs. That's the thing. But there's so many different people say like, "Oh, the only style I don't like is IPAs." It's like, well, there's so many different types of IPAs out there, and it's like you just gotta find the one. Just because you had that one that was like super bitter and like, a crap ton of IBUs or whatever, it's like doesn't mean they all taste the same. Just like with any other style. Like, oh, I don't like stout, so it's like, well, you only had a couple. There's all different ranges of stouts, and it's like, try different stuff, or try stuff that I'm trying to get a little more into like saisons, or actually more into farmhouses. I've never been a big farmhouse person, but I've been trying to get into them, but which is weird because I do like that like horse blankety type, like Three Fontaine and stuff like that, or like stout, like wild ales that have like a lot of people hate like that vinegar. There's vinegar based type like wild ales, but I love that. Like that grapefruit one that I had from Jester King was delicious. Like I like that real like tart like vinegar based like. But I mean, throws some people off, but I love it,
Like the farmhouse ales, the saisons. Like my first experience with that was a Hill Farmstead.
Oh
farmhouse.
shit, you got the
So
top of
it
the
was,
line.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had it. I'm like, oh, I love this style. And
Yeah.
then so I started searching them out. And I found a bunch of them. I was just like, what the hell is this? They're like the range that they can be in is so
Yeah.
vast that it's like, okay, I like the style when it hits the flavors that I like, but sometimes it's like, yeah, it doesn't get funky enough or it's just too damn earthy. It's like I'm eating dirt and mushrooms, and I like
Right.
mushrooms. I don't, much
But
care
then
for
again,
dirt.
you had like Hill Farmstead does like the best farm, like, farmhouse and saisons, like,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like the bar was already set pretty high, so now it's like,
Like, yeah, almost everything else is like, meh. But I mean, like
yeah, so
Saison,
kind of like,
Saison Dupont. Have you had that? I mean, that's
yeah, it's been
been
a
around
it's been a
forever.
while, but yeah, that
I mean,
one's
that's a
good.
fairly, I think that's kind of an
Yeah.
easy one to get into. It's not like the funkiest, but at least it's got some type of tart.
But I mean, that's kind of with any style. I mean, I know a lot of people like some people don't like lambics. I love like Three Fontaine and Cantillon and stuff like that,
Yeah.
um, and I mean, some of that stuff is kind of expensive. Some of those Three Fontaine bottles can be pricey. The same with, I think I paid like the two that I have, the Cantillon. I think they're a little more sought after. They're probably almost 40 bucks a bottle. You know. Um, But I like stuff like that. I like
Yeah.
that funkiness to an
Those
extent.
are the big bottles, though, right? The
Yeah,
ones that
they're
come
like
in
the
the
seven.
40. So I
Yeah,
think I've
yeah,
had like the 330 mil bottle that they had. They have like a little tiny one, and
yeah, yeah.
it was still like
I
it
have a
was still like
small like
17
Three
bucks or
Fontaine
something.
one.
But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, try different shit. It's don't stick to one. But there's a lot of
yeah,
people that just kind of stick to one like one style, and that's what you want. Then,
yeah.
there's more out there. So, but. Yeah, this
At
this
least I
one was
think I
good.
think if you get into IPAs, at least I think you might
Oh
be
yeah,
more adventurous versus somebody that's just strictly like American adjunct lager. Like if you got your typical
yeah,
Budweiser drinker, or whatever Miller Lite fan, and you're like,
yeah,
here, try this porter or something. Oh, all right. Beer
yeah.
shouldn't be dark. Brr.
Well, that's like people are just kind of getting into craft too. Like I have people ask me too, like I like IPAs, but I don't like really like bitter IPAs, and I'll be like, oh, well, try this one or try that one. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like there's
Yeah,
different.
my wife won't. She won't try them at all. Pretty much with the IPAs because I've had her try it before. And, I don't like it. So now I'm just like, smell this. She's like, I'm not gonna try. I'm like, I asked you to smell it. Just smell it.
Well, I
Doesn't it
mean,
smell fruit?
which is
Doesn't it smell
interesting
fruity
is
to
like
you?
I
Yeah.
feel like most.
All I smell is bitterness. It's like you're smelling
And
bitterness.
I feel like a lot of like New England IPAs don't have a. I mean, some have bitterness, but I mean, a lot of them have a sweetness to them. Like
Hmm.
it's like, oh, maybe she should try like a milkshake IPA or
Yeah.
something.
I'm naming
You
all
know,
these things off. Don't you smell passion fruit?
or a fruited IPA or something.
Yeah.
And she'd like that. You know. Um,
Yeah, she likes sours, porters, and stouts. It's
what
kind of where
about
she
lagers or pilsners?
she used to drink. She used to be one of those girls that would drink the Bud Lights or whatever, hanging out with people.
What about Yingling? She like
Yeah,
Yingling? You guys get
but now
Yingling?
now I get like if I get like a crafty lager or something, I'm like, try this.
It's too corny.
Yeah,
Like, oh, okay, well, here's a Still Reserve Alloy series that's got sweetness to
no,
it.
she's got some stuff. We picked some stuff out for her. She got a few different sour beers, like the stuff from like Drecker and stuff like that.
Oh, she likes the
She
heavily
saw this on the
fruited.
shelf, and she goes, oh, "Do you think I'd like that?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh, Combs, yeah,
So that's
nice.
her
Yeah.
beer. And then I grabbed this one because she had an extra spot in the 6-pack holder, and she was all done with. We picked out plenty of sours, so I just was like, "How about a nice milk stout? You might like that." So The
There you
otter
go.
milk from Great Ocean.
I forgot what I was going to ask you. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Something about
I'm
beers.
sorry.
No, you're good.
You might have a cold or something.
Maybe. Is she like pastry stouts?
She's like some of like the barrel aged stouts. She's really into coffee. So like if it's an espresso type thing.
Oh, she would love that Reeve or Rev, whatever it's called from Parrish.
Yeah.
Like if she likes iced coffee, that's like iced coffee to a T.
Oh yeah, she's making herself espresso martinis all the time.
Yeah, she would. What about like has she had like prairie stouts? I know prairie stouts can be kind of decadent.
Prairie.
Any like prairie artisan ale stouts? They actually have an espresso one, I think. A stout.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had her try one of those. Maybe because I did have we have this place called Fun Spot around here. It's the world's largest arcade. That actually
nice.
It's like 3 stories. And it's got like old school stuff, new stuff. It's pretty cool. They have
kind of like Dave and Buster's
bowling. There's pizza there, you know.
Oh, nice.
And they have a bar and they have craft beer and stuff. So I had a Prairie Bomb on tap when we went there, and I think I had her try that. But the Prairie Bomb wasn't very good, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I tried it
not
years
spicy
ago.
enough, you know. They say that there's chili peppers or whatever, and it's like, you know.
And then you got Christmas. You got the Christmas bomb and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but that's kind of bitter to me. But yeah, I should see if they got the. I know, like they had that espresso one that Prairie did. Espresso martini. I don't think it's martini, but espresso is something that was pretty good. But some of their stuff is. I mean, one it's expensive, you know, for a 12-ounce bottle.
Yeah, it's like anywhere from $9 to $12 for one bottle.
And it's only like single bottles.
Yeah, it's like the same price as getting a. Actually, it's more expensive than getting the base Goose Island, Bourbon County.
Oh yeah,
because that's a larger bottle. Yeah.
I mean, they do like the gift sets during the holidays where you get like 4.
Yeah, and a glass.
Like a glass or something or whatever. But yeah, I mean that's still
like $25.
Yeah,
it's not bad though. But
I don't even. I think they make an IPA, but I've never seen or I've never had an IPA.
I know they do sours. Their pickle sour is pretty good. I'm not sure if you've had that.
I'm not a big pickle person, but yeah, I heard the pickle one.
You don't like pickles?
Is that the Green Monster or something like that? I think it's called, maybe. Or a dill pickle.
It's something like there's a pickle in the water floating.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
it's good though. I've had it. I've had a few pickle sours. I was like, wow, but I like pickles.
Yeah, they do more like their sours aren't like the heavily fruited, they're more like the kettle sours.
Yeah.
Like the gozes and stuff like that. But Prairie's good. They're just
I don't think I've ever seen anything other than stouts or sours from them. So
exactly. I heard they have made an IPA, but I've never seen it. I've never tried it. Maybe you'd have to go to the actual brewery and maybe even see if they have an IPA on tap. But
is it really called Prairie? That's the other thing, because when you look at it says brewed by Krebs.
Yeah,
so is it really Krebs Brewing Company and they just call it Prairie?
Yeah, Prairie Artisan Ales and contract brewed or something through Krebs or yeah. That's interesting note. But yeah, this was good. I'm glad it held up. I know it's got a little age
that's the other thing. Yeah, for being 3 months.
3 months.
It's really hoppy still, and it didn't go sour. There's no like it's not drinking like tea or anything like that. So
yeah, thank God. And I was like, oh great. Hopefully it's still
not
good.
Oxidized.
Yeah, I mean, because there's breweries that they go oxidized even when they're kind of fresh. They go oxidized or a month out or whatever. So
when oxidized while they're fermenting it.
Right? Yeah, and we're looking at you, Equilibrium. Just kidding.
Like
But,
you got a hole in your fermenter.
Yeah, I just can't do it anymore. After that last batch of that Parish Equilibrium one, I was so excited because like the first batch was phenomenal. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. As soon as I poured it, like dark, like murky. Dan had the same thing from FLX. This is like maybe 2 weeks out. It was only 2 weeks old. Both kept cold, everything.
Yeah.
And people were like commenting on their like their Instagram page, talking about like, did you mean to mix this with fertilizer, or just going after him, But then
yeah, it is funny though, because
like
when you have those like diehard fans of like Equilibrium,
yeah,
and they just refuse to believe that any of their stuff's bad.
like Ridgeopolis.
Cheers, Ridge.
Right? Oh, hey, Ridge. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like. I know you've got burned many a times. I've
Many
got
times.
burned by
Yeah, it wasn't one time. It wasn't twice. It wasn't 3, 4, 5. It was
that's a couple $100 right there. You figure they're about $20 a 4-pack.
Yeah, most of them were 4-packs. So when it first started happening, and that was one of the reasons they actually were one of the reasons why I started doing just singles for a lot of beers. Because I'm just like, I'm done with spending all this money on stuff that's drain poor. So
yeah, that's the only downside to the bottle shop I go to. They have like a small little cooler for like singles, and you can only split up. I mean, they have like IPAs and stuff in there, but the only 4-packs and stuff you can really split up are heavily fruited sours and like stouts. Like IPAs and everything else, you got to buy 4-packs, except for whatever they have in that little small cooler.
yeah.
So you kind of take a gamble sometimes, because even if stuff it is in date, if they have a date on it, sometimes you can get it and it's like, oh, this is terrible. What happened? So, but yeah.
Well, I'm gonna wrap this up because we do have Beer Man coming up, Beer and Cheese, sometime around 8. It's usually scheduled for 8 p.m. on Tuesdays. That's Eastern time. I want to appreciate Josh for sending me the beer mail that he did.
For sure.
There'll be more videos coming out of us drinking those beers together, because he still has a lot of the ones that he sent. There at least one video that will just be a pre-recorded
solo. Yeah,
on my channel. But yeah, so it'll either be on my channel, Josh's channel. Josh, if you want to just shout your channel out.
Yeah. So last beer, I actually just did a beer bowl discussion this past weekend. Trying to crank out more beer reviews. I've been kind of putting out beer reviews, trying to do it daily, and maybe getting back in the beer bowl, talking about craft beer news and all that stuff. But other than that, I mean, check me out on Instagram. I haven't really posted too much on Instagram, really. A lot of the beers I've been drinking, I've just been kind of doing stuff on YouTube. I don't even think I even posted this one on Instagram. But Philly Crooker 87 is my Instagram. And other than that, look out for more beer reviews and maybe spontaneous random live hangout kind of thing. So yeah, thanks for having me, BuMpY. Cheers.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for the beer.
For sure.
Yeah, on my channel, I get beer reviews coming out, frozen pizza reviews, things like that going on. I want to say thank you to the folks that have popped into the chat. I don't go live often, so I wasn't expecting a huge crowd. This wasn't planned like ahead of time, really set up. So I also appreciate Josh for being there spur of the moment. But yeah, cheers to Terror Dom, Kettleheads Barbecue and Beer. art by Sparkle.
Cheers.
And Beer Hounds, Bill. Cheers to all of you. And yeah, check out Josh's channel, please. Last Beer. Good friend of mine. I appreciate him.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, there we go.
Thank all of you for watching.
Yeah. Cheers, everyone.
And I don't have an outro though, because I just don't.
It's
so
fine.
We're just gonna say,
oh, Tommy Carroll just popped in.
Oh, cheers to Tommy Carroll. Let us know how we did.
I've been
Appreciate
lurking too. Oh, he's been lurking. Appreciate you. Good to see you.
So you're not Josh after all. Okay.
Here we go. Right.
All right. Thank you guys.
All right. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.